Hello, Who Dey Nation. You're watching Who Dey Network. I'm Carson.
I'm Parker.
Today we're going to be talking about the depth chart that just got released. We're going to be talking about some injuries and expectations for the game Saturday.
Yeah. So new depth chart got released yesterday, I believe. Right. It
was yesterday or 2 days ago. Yeah.
Okay. And it is
recently.
Very wild.
It's interesting. Some of the things that are on there.
Yeah. Some of the things more expected than others. I mean, Jamar, wide receiver 1, Joe Burrow, quarterback 1. Those are expected.
Obviously.
But, I mean, you want to just get right into some of these?
So Trent Irwin, wide receiver 3. That was interesting.
I don't know about that.
I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, even from the start of the season, I still don't really think it's going to happen because it's not like Yoshi's a rookie.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it's not like he needs experience still. He played decent amount last year.
Yeah, and I would think he would be the wide receiver 3.
Or him or Jermaine. I mean, you draft Jermaine early. There's a lot of expectations about him.
Yeah, but also
it could go either way.
I mean, it still hasn't played yet. So I would think it'll be Yoshi for the first 4 or 5, maybe 6 weeks.
At least.
And then Jermaine will come in at some point in the middle of the season. And Yoshi will just be more of like a deep ball red zone threat.
Maybe, yeah.
Jermaine is like your slot.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. 3. But the only thing is, too, is, I mean, I think I've been hearing Yoshi improve. Joe Burrow said he's going to have a big year.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a chance he might just stay the wide receiver 3 and maybe Jermaine doesn't win out his spot. But at the same time, Jermaine might take that spot and kind of play Tyler Boyd's role a little bit more and kind of keep the same flow of the offense just as a more athletic Tyler Boyd.
Yeah.
So who knows what they'll do.
Either way.
They may play all 4. I mean, relatively consistent, too.
Yeah.
I mean.
But I think either way, I know there's a lot of people worried about Higgins not getting extended, and I really think he won't. I think it'll be this year, and then he'll be gone. And so I mean, they have to extend Jamar. And after that, I just don't see where you're getting the money to extend T. But I think what's going to be so great about having these two, and you're like, oh, who's wide receiver 3? Who's wide receiver 4? And they are very similar to the guys you have now. I mean, you're still going to have Jamar at 1, but then you have Yoshi, who's been learning under T for 2 years, has a very similar frame to T.
Yes,
he's
plays
tall,
really similar.
Good hands. And then you have Jermaine, who's a shorter, quicker, more like route running guy, just like Tyler Boyd was.
Yeah.
So I think even this year, if they go back and forth, who's going to be wide receiver 3? Who's going to be wide receiver 4? Next year, it's going to be, okay, Jamar Chase is still your 1. Yoshi's going to be your T. Higgins, and Jermaine Burton's going to be your Tyler Boyd.
I agree.
So I'm liking the way that's setting up, and I think no matter who wins that battle for wide receiver 3, it's going to look great next year.
Yeah,
is really what I think it's going to be.
Because I mean, at the same time, you still got guys behind them that are good. I mean, you've still got Trent Irwin, who they know they can rely on. He's a good player. He's getting older, but he can still make plays.
Yeah.
Then you've also got Charlie Jones, who's young. Didn't get a chance to play very much.
Not really.
He's made some plays in training camp.
Yeah.
He's still, I think he's got a bright future still. And then you've also, they signed Hakeem Butler. Very good in the UFL. I mean, he was Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a big dude. He can get up.
He's huge.
He can get up and get balls. I mean, who else they got? They got... Kwame Lassiter.
I've heard him getting reps as a red zone tight end. Have you heard any of that yet? Hakeem?
I've not heard that, but I could see that.
I could definitely. I mean, he's big.
Because here's the thing,
And if you don't need him to block for anybody, like if you're just specifically sending him out there on a route, I could 100% see just sending Hakeem out there for that.
I like them signing him a lot too. It's not. I don't think he's going to be like come in and be like, oh my gosh, he's wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4.
Yeah, no.
But the thing is he's another guy who's got a big frame, who can get up and catch passes that are like only where he can get it, that are up high. I mean, because now you're getting more of those like deep ball threats, guys that are in the red zone who are tall. Where I mean, you could expand, you could just get a bunch of size out there and kind of throw people off, because now it's like you've got him, you've got someone like a Gesicki, you've got T, you've got Yoshi. You've got a lot of guys who are good red zone threats.
Yeah.
Who you can kind of. I mean, you could send them all out on a blocking assignment and just completely mess up the defense, because they're going to think, oh, these guys, they've got all these guys out, the receivers. You can just have all those guys block.
Exactly.
I mean, they're all big guys. They're all capable of blocking. I mean, just throw all those guys out there. Just have Zach Moss run right up the middle.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do so much. That's why I like them getting these bigger receivers, because there's so much you can do with them, even if they're not going to be, like a starting player or getting a ton of reps. I mean, it's still he still has very good size for a receiver, and I mean, it's always good having big receivers like that because it's not like you can just find them everywhere.
I mean, they're utility players, and you can just throw them out and have them do whatever you need them to do. I think the biggest shock for me on here, though, isn't even Trent Irwin, wide receiver 3. I think Drew Sample, tight end 1, is crazy because he wasn't even the tight end 1 last year. I don't think. I think Tanner Hudson was pretty clearly the tight end 1 last year. And
that's why I'm not like super like concerned about the depth chart because I feel like it's gonna change as soon as the season starts. But
I agree.
I mean, I think everybody knows Mike Gesicki is going to be the starting tight. I mean,
he will.
And it's not a thing that he's been playing bad, so that's why. So I'm not worried about it at all because Joe Burrow was even talking about Mike Gesicki, saying it was good to have.
Yeah.
People are saying he's the best tight end he's had since he's been in the league, which I completely agree with. So he's definitely going to be the best receiver from tight end. I think the only reason Drew Sample might be listed above him is because maybe they'll use it more as a tight end for like blocking assignments and stuff like that, short passes. And then maybe they'll slide in Mike Gesicki to the slot, which we've been talking about. I saw something that he's been getting all the reps in the slot. And even on the outside somewhere, I mean, you can use him as a wide receiver. You can put multiple receivers out there, like a 4-receiver set, something like that. I mean, they know the Bengals want to pass. So.
I just think ideally what I would want to see, I've heard some news of this, but if it were me, what I would do is I would have Gesicki is like the tight end 1. And if you have to put him in the slot, like if you're, let's put him in the slot here, but we still need a tight end, I still think you could fall to a Tanner Hudson or an Eric All. I think if I were the coach, the way that he plays, I would run Drew Sample almost exclusively at fullback. I think he could be a great fullback.
Yeah.
I mean, he did it some last year, but I think you put him back there. And, I mean, last year, the offensive line wasn't great against the run. And I think some of that was an aging Joe Mixon, but also a lot of that was just the run stop or the run blocking wasn't
not that great. No, he was having to break a lot of tackles.
Yeah. And I mean, that's probably, I mean, we've talked before about how we have a lot more trust in the tackles than the guards. I think, and that could be a big issue with that. But I think that gets solved if you're running Drew Sample out there in front of Zach Moss or Chase Brown. He hits the first guy, and then you figure it out.
And I agree with that, and I like that a lot on outside plays because if you get, say, like someone like a Drew Sample, you put him in motion running to the outside. Yeah, he's already in motion. You snap the ball, you give it to Chase Brown. He uses his speed to attack the outside, and he's got a lead blocker.
And plus all Drew Sample has to do is hit that one guy.
I mean, the line's blocking. All he's got to do is hit that safety or linebacker, whoever the heck is driving, and there might be a couple guys. But regardless, I mean, Chase Brown, he could beat a couple guys.
I mean, so many times, an NFL caliber running back is very rarely getting stopped by one corner.
By one guy.
And so usually when that happens is when there's a corner coming in and a safety coming in, the corner kind of grabs him, and the safety can shut it down.
Yeah.
But if you have that lead blocker out there to hit that first guy, and then all he has to do is get past the second guy, I trust most NFL caliber running backs to get past one guy.
I agree.
I mean, that's what they do.
And also, he's going to kind of know what angle to take because he's going to know where Drew Sample's running. Yeah. And he's kind of going to know, go to this side, go that side, and the defender's not going to have any idea. They're just going to see Drew Sample running at them, and they're going to be like, whoa, what's happening? Yeah. So I like that a lot for those kind of plays. And even inside runs, too. I mean, even giving Drew Sample the ball, like on goal line situations.
100%. Just put your head down and just go.
Straight to him, just run in. I mean, I think Drew Sample's still a useful player, not really as much for like a receiver, but like just blocking in general, just in different sets. And that's why I'm saying I think he might be tight end 1 for that reason. So they may do a lot with them both on the field. Yeah. And just have Drew Sample at a blocking assignment and have Gesicki as a playing like a receiver.
Yeah. And I mean, you have guys under that. Like I said, Tanner Hudson, Eric All.
Tanner Hudson, I'm assuming Eric All. We haven't seen him play yet,
He's been back to training camp.
We've seen him at training camp, but I'm saying playing a game yet.
I just thought you meant because you said he'd been injured for a while and he had
he is back at training camp.
His physical got passed.
Which is good.
So he's back.
Haven't seen much about him. I've just seen that he's been playing.
I saw a couple practice clips of him, but that was like right when he got back. There was no defenders out there. It was just him.
He runs kind of weird.
Does he?
Yeah, he does. He's got a weird run. He runs like the outsides of his feet
Really?
Yes.
I've not paid
I
that
don't know why
much
I just
attention.
noticed that. Maybe it's because I'm a sprinter for track, so I notice those things. But
Well, yeah.
yeah, I noticed
I
that.
do
So I was
not.
like, that's kind of weird. Not that that really matters. I just
No,
noticed that.
of course not.
But no, like I said though, I mean, you've got like, I would assume. I mean, we haven't seen him play in a game yet, but I would assume Eric All is going to be a pretty capable receiver. Plus Tanner Hudson, we already know is a good receiver. So you got good receivers behind them.
You do.
So it's like, I'm not worried about the tight end position. I think the tight end room is the strongest it's been since Joe Burrow's been here. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would say last year it was bad.
Yeah, it was not good.
The
It was
year
just, like,
before with Hayden Hurst, it was decent. Hayden had a solid year. CJ was never bad.
No, he had a couple of really good years, but it's like I'm still thinking Mike Gesicki is going to be better than all of those guys.
I hope so. I could see it. I could definitely see it. On the defense, I don't think there is as many surprises as the offense. Now that I'm looking at it,
Safety for you.
safety. Do you want my spiel on this right now? Because
go
I've
for
given my spiel on this before.
Go for it again.
Because I've talked about Jordan Battle so much on here and how he was so good last year, filling that role like halfway.
Von Bell's
through the
ahead of
year.
him on the depth chart.
What? Yeah, that I don't. I assumed. Oh, I could talk about this forever.
But like I said, it's a depth chart. I wouldn't read into it too much.
Yeah.
Because just the beginning, here's a reason why he might be ahead of him on the depth chart. I mean, I know he didn't play there last year, but Von Bell has been involved with the organization for like a little bit longer than Jordan Battle, and he's a veteran. They're a guy they know they can rely on, even though they know they can rely on Jordan Battle. But I'm just saying, with that veteran type of player, it's more likely for him to be ranked above Jordan Battle. Same with like Trent Brown. More likely for him to be ranked above.
Okay, yeah.
Same with Chase Brown. More likely for Zach Moss to be ranked above him because he's a veteran guy.
Yeah.
Which like I said, these guys could all be the actual starters, but at the same time, they're also veterans, so they're going to have a little step up on that.
Yeah, but
for the younger guys.
We don't know that Chase Brown or Amarius Mims are the quality of player.
Oh no, they
Jordan
may not
Battle
be.
is.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that those two guys have shown like potential, and there's a chance that at some point they could overtake the starting role. Which will they? We've noted. I think it's more likely Amarius Mims does it than Chase Brown does it, because I think Chase Brown they're going to use more for like specific plays, and they're going to kind of have Zach Moss as a 3-down back because he's kind of a better running back than what Chase Brown is. But like I said though, I mean it's still those are the veteran guys, so it's going to be more likely for them to have the step up from the beginning. Same with Trent Irwin as a wide receiver 3. That's probably why. He's a veteran guy. They're going to put him in there. They know they can trust him. They're like, we'll just keep him at wide receiver 3 because they don't know for sure whether it's Yoshi or Jermaine Burton who's doing better. So it's probably just a safe bet just to say we'll put Trenton at wide receiver 3 and then we'll figure it out from there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Okay.
I'm not reading into it too much. Jordan Battle may be the starting strong safety. We don't know.
If we go into week 1 of the season and Von Bell's the starter, I will be like, okay. But if we get past week 5 of the season and Von Bell is still the starting strong safety, I'm going to have an issue with Zach Taylor and Lou Anarumo and the rest of the crew.
I mean, what if Von Bell's playing like really well? Yeah,
but you have Von Bell. How much longer is Von Bell going to be a consistently good safety in the league?
I don't know. Last year he wasn't, but he was on a different team. So.
Exactly. And then it's like, you look at how much longer you're going to have high quality from Von Bell compared to
how much longer you could have.
Yes. And I feel like you could have a higher quality for a longer amount of time if you just put Jordan Battle in right now and you're like, okay, we're going to let you develop. We're going to let you figure it out. Continue.
But my thing is, if this is the year, I've talked about multiple times, this is the year they need to try to go to the Super Bowl. This is the year they need to win it. They may be thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Like, we've got T here now. We're not going to have him next year. We just signed some guys to 1-year deals. We think our team's going to be really solid. This might be their year where they're thinking, let's go Super Bowl. This is our best chance to do it. Next year we might not have as good of a chance. So they might be like, let's put the veteran guy out there who we know can make plays. This may be his last year being able to do that, but if he's still able to for this year, let's rock with it. And then next year, when we're in a more rebuilding phase with all those young guys, because if T's gone, if whoever else is gone, then let's throw Jordan Battle in there and let's have all these young guys kind of try to build. I don't know.
I could definitely see that, but to me, it just seems like that would be more of if Jordan Battle came in last year and just showed a little bit of promise, like you were like, oh, he's on and off.
I agree.
He showed promise, so we're going to start Von Bell. But last year, Jordan Battle was a very consistent. He was very consistent. He played very well the entire time he was on the field. So, I mean, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if we're ever going to agree on this.
No, I think that that's the way it should be. I think Jordan Battle should start.
Okay.
Let's say strong safety.
Yeah.
And I think the only reason that Von Bell should start at strong safety is if, like you said, Jordan Battle would have just shown flashes of it. But since Jordan Battle played to a really high level, his PFF rating was very high for safeties. Yeah. I think, honestly, he should start. It's just a matter of, I don't know what the coaches are thinking. I don't know what their plan is for everything.
Yeah.
I don't know. And he's still, regardless, he's still going to be on the field quite a bit.
Definitely.
Because he wasn't even their starting safety last year, was he?
For about half the year, he wasn't.
Because who would it have been?
Nick Scott.
Nick Scott, yeah, that's true.
But then after about...
But Nick Scott was terrible.
He was
Von
awful.
Bell is not going to be terrible, even if he's going to take a step down.
But,
so he's going to be working against better competition.
Yeah, but I mean, by halfway, a little bit farther than that into
he
the
overtook
season,
the role.
Nick Scott was barely even playing. Jordan Battle was so good. I mean, Nick Scott...
I don't think he got signed anywhere. I think they just cut him.
He's probably just off in the void right now.
Yeah.
Because he was... I mean, I remember him getting signed, and I was like, okay, I've never heard of this guy. And there was so many mixed emotions that I would see where it was like, oh, he was pretty solid. We could use him. And then so many people are like, he just sucks. And I was like, well, I don't know much about him, so I'm going to...
That's what I've been hearing about
see
Jamal
how
Adams.
it goes. Really?
And did you see who else just signed to the Titans?
Who?
Quandre Diggs.
No.
Yes.
He did?
Quandre Diggs, Jamal Adams, Chibode Awuzie. So, right there's three.
Yeah.
3 old guys who are kind of washed up, who we're going to throw on the Titans, and we're just going to make it work. But they've also got... they've got Sneed. And they don't still have Janoris Jenkins, do they?
Do they?
I have no idea.
I haven't heard... I swear I haven't heard that
I've
name
not heard
in
him
at least a year.
He was on the Giants. He was on the Titans. He might not be in the league anymore. But if he is, then that just adds on to the amount of old, washed-up players that used to be really good. That
I have not heard... it says he's a free agent.
Okay, so no.
Yeah. I was going to say, I have not heard that name.
But
in
regardless,
so
the
long.
Titans secondary could be looking solid. It could be looking like a lot of burnt toast. Guys not being athletic enough to do anything. I don't know. But yeah, I just did see that since we were talking about Quandre Diggs.
Yeah. Okay. Is there... I mean...
But back on the Bengals.
Yeah. And
so
there's other pieces of the defensive depth chart that confused me a
the
little bit.
only part on the defensive depth chart I really need to talk about, there's 2 parts. First of all, Dejon Anthony, I've heard he's getting a lot of first team reps.
Definitely.
He's what, 4th right now, or is he 3rd? He's 3rd, isn't he?
On...
I think he's 3rd behind Tyson Anderson.
As far as free safeties go, he is 3rd. Because it goes Geno Stone, then Tyson Anderson, then Dejon Anthony.
He ain't gonna jump Geno Stone, but if he jumps
about
Tyson
him going... Yeah, he could definitely jump Tyson Anderson.
Yeah.
And then strong safety, like we just talked about, goes Von Bell,
Who's
Jordan
3rd?
Battle. On strong safety?
Yeah.
Michael Dow.
Did they just get him this year?
I think we only talked about him in our college video.
Who's 4th?
PJ Jules.
Okay.
My favorite
I don't know
player.
who Michael Dow is.
I have no idea.
He must have just signed him.
And then DJ Turner, cornerback 2, I could definitely see.
I like that.
But Nate Brooks, cornerback
That was
4
surprising.
is
No, he's
crazy.
cornerback 3.
No, I'm counting Mike Hilton as cornerback 3. Slot.
Okay, yeah. Makes sense. But for the outside, he's the
For
3rd
the
outside
he's
cornerback.
3rd,
Yeah,
which
he's the 3rd outside
over
cornerback.
Dax Hill is over a first-round pick going into his 3rd year in the league. I think is crazy.
I mean, Cam Sample was over Miles Murphy. That's a first-round
Going
pick
into his
in
second
year of the league.
Yeah.
Man.
But 2nd year in the league and 3rd year in the league, when you're a first-rounder, is a huge difference.
Yes. I mean, I don't know. And also about Cam Sample.
Yeah, tore his Achilles.
Sucks.
He's out for the year.
Cam Sample, rest
does-
up.
he was-
be ready for next year.
He was very consistent.
He was-
last
he
year,
was
which
solid
is
last year.
odd from a
He
backup.
was.
Because
No.
I think that's why he got so many reps over Joseph Osai and Miles Murphy was because those guys would come in, they would be hit or miss. Cam Sample just always seemed like he was a consistently decent.
Yeah, it seemed like he was always creating some type of pressure normally.
Yeah.
It's not that he was always getting sacks. So like Miles Murphy would come in, he'd get a sack or he wouldn't do anything. And same with Joseph Osai. But it seems like Cam Sample was always in there consistently creating pressure, getting a tackle here and there, something like that. So yeah, that sucks. Hopefully, Miles Murphy can step up. He can take that role.
That would be nice. They need him to have a year.
So I don't know. Yeah, the defensive ends are kind of they've got two really solid starting defensive ends, and then from there it's like kind of hit or miss.
Yeah,
so
we'll just have to see.
Yeah.
So defensive tackle is a little interesting.
Yeah, Sheldon Rankins at nose tackle. He didn't.
So they don't have like D tackle 1 and D tackle 2. They just have nose tackle and then like I guess main defensive tackle. But then Sheldon Rankins at nose tackle I can see.
Yeah,
and then Jay Tufele behind him, and then McKinley Jackson behind him. Confuses me a little bit. I saw McKinley Jackson got hurt too. He did?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was like limping off the field, so hopefully he'll be all right. Yeah. I don't think it was anything too serious.
Probably
I mean, those
not.
bigger dudes sometimes they can land wrong, and
that's fair.
They can be out for a little bit. Yeah. So hopefully he's all right. The thing is, I feel like it's just from what I've seen, it almost seems like it's harder to be a pass rusher from the nose tackle position.
Yeah.
So it's like. And I feel like that's what Sheldon Rankins excels in.
Yeah, but that's more of a pass rusher. What BJ Hill excels in. So it's like, what are you going to do there?
It is, but it's like, it almost seems like they want him to take on that DJ Reader role, whereas him and DJ Reader are different players. DJ Reader wasn't the greatest pass rusher. Like, he wasn't a bad pass rusher. He was still a good pass rusher, but he was more of a run stopper.
Big run stopping.
So it's like, I just wish... Which I have no idea, obviously. We haven't seen, which I have seen the practices, obviously. They're open to public. It'd be great if we lived close to the Bengals and we could just go in
every day.
Watch some practices.
Because we're not that lucky, I guess.
Yeah, because McKinley Jackson, what I would think would be great is for him to be good enough to where he could take the nose tackle role and be that run stopper. And then you could have BJ Hill and Sheldon Rankins at D tackle who are stopping the pass more. But that's the problem is I don't know. I mean, it's just we don't know. We don't know how the caliber player is.
You're never really sure.
And I'm not saying Sheldon Rankins being a nose tackle is going to be bad at all. I mean, regardless, he's still on the defensive line. Yeah. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference.
Probably not.
Just saying.
Yeah.
But
I mean, there's not much else to talk about. Zach Carter over Chris Jenkins surprised me.
Yeah.
But I guess you talk about Zach Carter having been on the team.
It didn't surprise me much just because Chris Jenkins hasn't played down in the NFL yet. I mean, So Saturday, when we're at the game, I would assume Chris Jenkins is going to be getting a decent amount of reps. Then you can see. So that's what I'm talking about. Because Jermaine Burton's probably going to be playing too.
Quite a bit. Yoshi will play quite a bit.
They're releasing their depth chart now. That's why they're probably keeping all these veterans out. And then once they see how these younger guys do, then maybe they could work their way up. So I'm really hoping McKinley Jackson. So I'm still excited about McKinley Jackson.
I know you're excited about
McKinley Jackson pick. I'm hoping he's going to be fine and good to go on Saturday and he gets a decent amount of reps because I really want to see him playing at defensive tackle, nose tackle more specifically, and seeing what he's capable of because very big dude. And, I mean, he moved pretty well in college. He wasn't – that was the reason why he went a little later just because he wasn't the best mover. But, I mean, he's that big. Yeah. It's hard to. I wish they could have got Devondre Sweat. But the freaking Titans decided to take him. It's unfortunate.
Although he went before Chris Jenkins, which was crazy.
He did actually, didn't he? Because everybody thought he was going to drop.
Did he go before Johnny Newton?
I think he did.
I
think he did. I think there was two guys because the dude from the Rams, Braden Fisk, I think he might have went before Johnny Newton too. I'm thinking. I know he went before Chris Jenkins. I think he might have went before Johnny Newton too. So
I'm gonna look this up.
Yeah. I don't know.
That would be unbelievable.
I'm hoping he's good to go by Saturday. I'm hoping all the rookies are able to play and just kind of see what we got, what we're working with, because you really don't know until you see them in a real game. I mean, you can see them at practice, but until you're in an actual game, it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
No. Okay. Neither of them went before Johnny Newton. It was Rook.
Oh, Rojo.
Rojo.
Why the heck did he go? He was like projected like 4th round, and then out of nowhere
he went to the Falcons in.
Falcons did a lot of really questionable stuff.
Yeah,
this could come back to bite them as like their worst draft of all time. I mean, taking Michael Penix in the 1st round.
That's a tough
taking
one.
Ruka Rojo. I don't know.
I cannot.
Okay.
You got to slow down before you say that.
Yeah,
or it just doesn't roll off the tongue very well.
It doesn't roll off the tongue at all. You know, not barely. It's like it's Rojo.
That's how it's spelled. Horo.
I don't know.
But yeah, and then it was Johnny Newton, and then there was Jalen Polk, who's not a defensive tackle, and then it went to Tavondre Sweat, then Braden Fisk,
A lot of defensive tackles,
and then Mason Smith, and then Chris
he went
Jenkins.
so early. I was looking at things like of the Bengals, like targeting him in the 4th or 5th round.
Yeah,
and then he goes this early. I'm like, what?
That's why I was so happy that the Bengals picked Chris Jenkins. One, because I thought he was better than most of the guys. I thought he was better than Mason Smith. I thought he was better than Tavondre Sweat, Braden Fisk, and Rook.
I thought he was better than all those guys. The only person I would have took over him was Tavondre Sweat, just because
the nose tackle.
Yeah, and the size, and you don't get that very often because he moved really well. Like,
he did.
Him moving that well at his size, I mean, it's rare.
Yeah.
So you can teach him things. But I knew the Bengals weren't going to take him just because the Bengals don't normally take players like that who, like, they'll have, like, something go wrong, like his DUI, and the Bengals will be like, yeah, they normally stray away from that. They're not like the Raiders, who the Raiders are like, let's do it. They just
Raiders live on that.
Yeah, the Raiders, they don't care. They're like, we'll go for it. We'll figure it out.
Although I did see a stat the other day. I don't know why I saw this stat. I believe the Bengals are 3rd in for most times a player was arrested in the last, like, 20
Well, then
something
never
years.
mind.
But
Well, no.
I honestly think that
It's probably just because
majority of that was Pac-Man Jones.
Well, him and
Vontaze Burfict.
Yeah, and Vontaze Burfict. That's true. See, okay, that's the thing is when you get a couple guys who just repetition. It's just repetition of them doing stuff.
What in the world did Pac-Man Jones do this year? Didn't he do something?
He got arrested this year?
Yes, it was on like
Actually, I think he might have gotten a fight.
No, it was something with an airport, wasn't it?
Do you have a firearm at an airport?
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
I thought that was this year, or maybe
There definitely has been some Bengals players that have not made the best decisions with stuff. I would say mainly those two are probably the best examples.
I mean, he was doing so good. It was like he was on the Pat McAfee show, and he was doing so good. Oh gosh, I forgot about the timing of this. No, this is bad.
What?
He was drunk and cussing at people and threatening people on a plane on September 11th.
That's
terrible. What it was.
That's horrible timing.
Yes. That is.
I mean, it's not worse than what Antonio Brown did on the plane, but you know.
Yeah, no. This might. Former NFL cornerback Adam Pac-Man Jones.
No, we've got him.
Was arrested near Cincinnati on charges of alcohol intoxication, disorderly conduct, and terroristic threatening.
Oh my gosh, what are we doing?
Pac-Man.
It was all in good fun. He was just joking around.
No.
It just happened to be on September 11th.
Stop talking. So yeah, but
are we really demoting him from the front though? I mean, let's be honest here.
Are we demoting? That's a rough one.
Second best cornerback of Bengals history, I would say probably.
Really?
Is that right?
Second best in Bengals history.
I know Ken Riley's above
you're putting
him.
Ken Riley number one. I don't know, man.
Exactly. And I mean, Pac-Man Jones was, very good. Yeah, he had some problems with off the field stuff. He still does. Hey, you can't.
This is what we'll do. We'll leave this on a cliffhanger. So whenever they come back for the next episode, that's going to be blank right now, and they'll see if it's Pac-Man Jones or if it's a different card with a different player.
We'll see.
I did not remember. I remember hearing something that it was something to do with an airplane. I do not ever remember it being on 9/11. That's
rough.
Crazy to me.
That is rough.
Yeah.
That's a rough situation.
He'll be removed from the front for right now.
For now, but he might make a return. Okay. Still a great player.
Okay, let's get through the rest of the depth chart. Okay. We'll look at special teams real quick. Evan McPherson, that's obvious. Hopefully he gets extended sometime soon.
Yeah.
I mean,
Punt returner Charlie Jones.
yeah,
What
they
if
have Travion Williams, kick returner,
which they did last year too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who they're going to go with. It might be him, might
Whatever,
not. Who
that's
knows?
fine. I mean,
punter Brad Robbins. We don't know how Austin McNamara has been doing. I haven't kept up with the punters very much.
So and he's a punter, so they can just be like, hey, normally preseason the backups play, but he's a punter, so they're gonna be like,
Yeah, like Brad, go do it.
But see, I'm hoping they get in McNamara for some reps.
I
just
hope
to see, just at least punt like 1 or 2 punts.
Did you see? Okay, I'm getting off topic again.
Yeah.
Have you seen not Drew Sample? Oh, what was his name? The Drew Chrisman.
What about him? Oh yeah,
The
his moving
video that
company.
he made. Yeah, his moving company with the unicorn head.
Yeah,
or whatever it was.
I guess no more punting.
That was one of
The funny thing is though, I don't remember if it was a game I went with you or I was with my parents, but it was a Vikings game, I think. We were at that.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I saw Drew Chrisman. I'm like 95% sure it was Drew Chrisman. He was in a like the suit Ron Burgundy wears on Anchorman. That like mahogany suit. Mm-hmm. You had the almost exact same suit on with like a yellow tie. And it was a tall guy and he looked like pretty athletic. Pretty sure that was Drew Chrisman because he did do stuff for the Bengals after he got released. Like he helped with like a different position. He was doing stuff like inside work for the team, not like as a player. So I'm pretty sure, and I think he was carrying a ladder or something. Pretty sure it was Drew Chrisman.
Okay. Well,
just throwing that out there.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Drew Chrisman, somebody we could hit up right there.
Yeah.
Drew Chrisman.
You can
hey,
try.
Get him on the show.
You can definitely try.
He's got some experience.
So, do you have anything else to really cover? I mean, I feel like we've
on
covered
the depth chart, no.
Depth chart, no.
Saturday, a couple things we could talk about, and then wrap it up.
Okay.
I would say projecting who's going to be playing. Quarterback. Well, see, the thing is, starters are starting, is what I heard. Joe Burrow is going to start. Mm-hmm. Is he going to play much? Probably not. Is he going to play a quarter? Maybe, probably not. I would say maybe half of a quarter, maybe like.
I would say one drive. One drive. Where we get Joe Burrow and Jamar
which would be
Chase.
like half a quarter, probably.
Probably, yeah.
So yeah, one drive. I think you've got Joe Burrow in there. Jamar, honestly, I almost could see Joe playing more than Jamar, just for the fact of
the contract.
Yeah, and just because they want to just see Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess he's thrown in training camp. It's just a different kind of pressure. So maybe I don't know. Yeah. Whatever. Regardless, they're not going to play that much, but they are going to at least be playing, which I think is good. Get them in there for a little bit, maybe a drive or something. Just get the feel back. Yeah. Since Joe Burrow hasn't played football like that in a while.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I think that'd be good. And then I hope a lot of the young receivers play. I think they will. I don't really want to see that much Jamar and T. I want to see.
I don't either. I don't even really want to see that much Trenton Irwin.
No, I don't really want to either.
I want to see
I love Trenton Irwin
and Yoshi and Charlie.
Yeah, and I agree.
All those guys out there. Hakeem.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Bring it to us. And then for tight end, I want to see a little bit of Mike Gesicki.
I want to see a lot of Eric All.
That's what I agree with. A little bit of Mike Gesicki. The only problem is I think we're going to see a lot of Tanner Hudson. Tanner Hudson.
Probably.
And a little bit of Eric All mixed in there.
Yeah.
I just rather would see more Eric All because I like Tanner Hudson and I think he's a good tight end. It's just
Eric
we know what to expect there, and we haven't seen Eric All play yet.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I'm hoping to see a lot of that. Offensive line wise, I think we're going to see a decent amount of Maurice Mims, and then I think Deontay Smith's probably going to play quite a bit.
Yeah, I would think. I mean, you'll
in that role,
see some other guys in there. Matt Lee will definitely play.
I think, but Matt Lee was kind of low on the depth chart. Did you see that? Matt Lee was like 4-string center, so I don't know.
Really?
I don't know if Matt Lee will play a ton.
How many centers?
And that surprised me, honestly. I mean, we may have been wrong about that one. We'll see.
He is 4th-string center.
Yeah, we'll see as the year goes on. We may have been wrong about that one. We were saying, we got a solid backup tight end center who's going to be the second or third string, and he's going to be solid.
I mean, they got
4th.
They got Trey Hill, who
is their second string.
Yeah, Trey Hill will probably play the most.
I was hoping Matt Lee would beat up Trey Hill and have that backup center spot. But.
Yeah, but and then they also have Nate Gilliam.
He was. Didn't they pick him up this year?
I don't know. He might. I don't know.
Or was it last year? They signed him. They didn't draft him.
Yeah, no, they didn't.
I know they didn't draft him, but I think they signed him this year. So that's.
Yeah, I mean.
I don't know. I'm hoping Matt Lee beats him out. I'm really hoping Matt Lee can beat out Isaiah Prince. Or not? Was it Isaiah Prince? Is that
Wait, what?
was it Isaiah Prince?
Trey Hill?
It was Trey Hill. Not
Isaiah Prince is not on the team anymore.
Isaiah Prince. I just said Isaiah Prince because
was the starting
I didn't really
left
like that
tackle,
Isaiah.
Wait, starting right tackle in the Super Bowl.
That might have been so. Somebody got hurt in the Super Bowl because Deontay Smith came in and played. I think it was.
Was it Quentin Spain?
Quentin Spain was there. Yeah, it might have been.
Because
did
Deontay Smith come in and play guard in the Super Bowl, or did he come in and play tackle? Because Quentin Spain was the left guard.
He had to play a couple different positions because they're starting.
Yeah.
Because I know
Hakeem Adeniji came in and played right tackle.
Yeah, he did.
Is who that was. But I know Deontay Smith played in the Super Bowl, so I'm thinking he came in for like a Quentin Spain.
Okay, that would make sense.
Gosh, that offensive line was
so bad.
So bad.
I mean, I like Quentin Spain. He seemed like he had that energy. He was okay. He wasn't that great.
I mean, it was
Trey Hill.
The starters
was not good.
It wasn't. It was Trey Hopkins.
Trey Hopkins was the center. Why do I keep saying Trey Hill? Isaiah Prince is what I meant. Sorry, Trey Hill. I'm not trying to diss you. Isaiah Prince. Did not like Isaiah Prince. Bro was trash. No, Trey Hopkins was he was good sometimes, and he was absolutely abysmal sometimes. So
yeah,
he was not consistent.
That offensive line, that 2021 offensive line.
Was Jonah Williams in there?
He was the starting left
yes,
tackle.
He was the starting left tackle. Guy. He was who it was. He was like the worst out of all of them.
I don't know.
Probably was. He let up the most sacks in the league that year. It was either that year or the next year.
He's given up a lot.
Yeah.
And he got a bag this offseason.
Gosh, terrible. I saw a video of him getting absolutely torched by who did the it was either
he's on the Cardinals if that's
it was a defensive end.
On the Cardinals?
It was either a conjoint practice with the Rams, and it was what's his name that the Rams drafted, defensive end? Jared Verse. It was either that. I don't know why. It may not have been. I'm just for whatever reason I'm thinking it was Jared Verse, or it was a defensive end that the Cardinals drafted.
Did they draft a defensive end?
I don't know. But regardless, I saw Jonah Williams getting absolutely torched by a defensive end.
I've seen that a couple of times in my life.
And yeah, I have also seen that a couple times in my life. But I just saw it again, and I'm like,
well,
thank you. We don't have to deal with him.
Paid him $30 million.
We've got 1 through 3 are all better than what he was on our right and left tackles. So
1 through 3 on each.
Yes, on each. Okay, so right tackle we have.
We don't have a third left tackle.
Oh wait, we don't. Okay, well I'm just thinking right tackle.
There's Jackson Carman. And wait, no, is it?
Listen, okay, Trent Brown better than him.
Yes.
Amarius Mims, I would think is going to be better than him. I'm taking Deontay Smith over him too. He's just been injured a lot. He did not let up 12 sacks or whatever Jonah Williams did. So taking those 3 over him, I'm taking left tackle Orlando Brown over him.
There are 3 left tackles.
Yes. Who's our backup left tackle or second?
The second is Jackson Carman. The third is Devin Cochran. I don't know about Devin Cochran, man.
He's played though. Devin Cochran has played. I'm pretty sure. Maybe not.
Sure.
I feel like maybe not Devin Cochran, but I'm taking Jackson Carman over him too. I know you're not going to, but
Jackson Carman, okay.
Because Jackson Carman, he's one of those guys who'll just randomly have a really good play. Jonah Williams never had a really good play. Yeah, but Jonah Williams got cooked all the time. He never had those really good plays.
Okay.
He would have games where he was like okay, and nothing really went wrong. Then he'd have games where he's awful. He never had games where it's like, oh, this dude is dominating. Jackson Carman, I remember one time. Came in on a rep and drove a dude past the sideline, and I was like, "Oh, this is the type of fight
Michael Orden."
Yeah, this is he literally did. If you look up a video,
he needed to go home.
Look up a video of Jackson Carman driving a guy to the sideline, and it happened.
Okay,
and that's the only reason. But regardless, whatever we're talking about,
let's get off the Jonah Williams.
Our starting offensive linemen are good. Our backups are good. I think we're in a better situation than we were last year.
Better than last year.
Yes.
I would say.
I think we can 100% be a top 15 offensive line in the NFL. I don't think there's any reason we're not.
I hope. That's what
I
top 50%.
Top 15 is what I said.
Top 50%. There are 32 teams in the NFL.
It's close to 50%. There's 16 would be 50, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm thinking it's going to take a step up. I'm thinking every position really probably is going to take a step up. I would think. I mean, not every.
position?
I mean every I meant defense and offense, not every position, because Joe Burrow is
okay.
Joe Burrow is going to be Joe Burrow.
I get what you're
there's gonna be
saying.
much step up there. I think offense and defense are both going to take a step up because of the offensive line. I think it's going to be a step up, and then for defense, I think the secondary is going to be a step up because they were awful last year and they let up like 1 billion yards in passing. Also, they let up like 1 billion yards in run stopping. So
the defense was rough.
I didn't realize that our defense was like 30th in the league. Like they were awful. Like when I'm watching the game, I'm like, hey, we got a decent defense, we'll get some picks. I didn't realize how bad we were until I looked at some of the stats. Yeah. So I think defense has got to step up. It was terrible last year. So if we can step up our defense, our offense is going to be good. I think we're set.
Okay. Yeah.
So I don't know. Anything else for this one?
Not really.
I think we got everything covered in this one. Saturday, we will be at the game. We'll be trying to get some coverage. We'll do, a mix of a couple things. We'll figure it out. But
I don't think anything
thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.
Yep.
And Who Day, keep on rolling. Let's win Saturday.
Okay. Yeah.
Peace out.
I can do it. See ya.